Hey. Welcome to another episode of The Goalpost, and I'm joined by Byron, Mike, Siche. What's happening, gentlemen?
Alex, good to see you again.
A good
Gents,
day.
Chelsea, good day.
It's kind of weird. I think every Monday, during the weekend, what happens is I go through emotions of either Chelsea's on the up or Chelsea's on the down, and then on Monday I get to talk about it like this is my therapy session.
Yeah, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you, Siche, bruh. I'm
So
here for
it's
everyone.
it's a lot easier for Chelsea than it is for Spurs or United. I don't know what you're so depressed about, bro.
Yeah, Z,
No,
bro.
we're supposed to be challenging for the league, eh?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
you also you won the Champions League last season. You've got Tuchel that's just come in and he's building a proper squad. Like the fact that you won the Champions League in itself was something that was incredible. But on top of that, you've just got an abundance of talent. Like when I see your boys warming up, like the guys coming off your bench, give me so much anxiety. Like I think in the first leg of the FA Cup, was it the FA Cup? Which one? Yeah, it was the
It
FA
was
Cup.
the Carabao.
Oh,
Carabao.
Carabao. Sorry,
Yeah.
bro. You got N'Golo Kante coming on at like off your bench, and you know what I mean. You got like you rotating Ziyech and other players within this side. It's just like disgusting, right? It's just we're comparing silks and rags at the moment, like this current Spurs team and this Chelsea team. I mean, I understand your concerns in terms of you challenging, but I think it's just a matter of time before you start challenging. I think that it's like
I think
you guys
also
are almost there.
we went through a blip a moment, and that has called for question marks around our team, of which really shouldn't. They were warranted, but like I really thought they were a bit premature.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought the noise was coming from non-Chelsea fans. Because I think there was a lot of after winning Champions League, everyone assumed that we'll challenge City and go for the title, of which that's what we're doing. But I think
Mm-hmm.
just going through the team, it's a brilliant squad of players. It's just one of those unfortunate either COVID or players that were not firing on all cylinders, and some were not gelling. It's just that it comes down to. I see Mike is getting excited because Big Rom is busy. He's thinking about exactly how he's going to word his frustration with Big Rom.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? I think the only reason you guys aren't challenging is because Timo Werner's come in and he hasn't performed. Lukaku's similar story. I mean, that whole press conference, that was an absolute joke. The fact that a player can do that is, to me, disgusting. Like, you can never play for my club or never have my respect if you do something like that. Like, bro, you're getting paid an inordinate amount of money to play for that team. Like, I don't want to hear excuses, but we've got kids in Africa that will bleed to go play professional football. I want to hear about Inter Milan this, Inter Milan that. Please, that's not professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
That's
quite
true.
disappointed also. I think it was uncalled for, the timing of it as well. I think the interview was took place in November or like middle of December, and just to stir things up, they released the interview in Jan when the transfer window is open. So that
Yeah.
in itself was in bad faith, and the timing just like literally messed up the whole aura in the team. And even after when he came out and apologized, still there's a huge question mark. Because I think when he came on, I personally was expecting plus minus 20 goals from him so that we can challenge City. Because I feel that is what was missing.
Well, let's be honest.
That's
If you're paying 100 million for a player, you deserve 20 goals. I mean, why are
yeah.
you going to spend that kind of money? Do you know what I mean? You spend that money to sign Ronaldo and Messi, the players that win you trophies. You're not going to sign a striker that's going to get you 10 goals. I mean, what are you doing? You might as well spend money on your youth then. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know.
But
I don't know.
but but I have a question for the Chelsea spectators down here. um, do you guys think you would have gotten the best out of CR7 had you guys opted for Ronaldo instead of Lukaku?
No,
Or you don't think so?
nah, I don't. Top of the head, I don't.
Yeah.
If,
Wait. No, CR7 is a finisher, Joe.
Yeah.
Like the number of goals that CR7 has scored for Man United in Fetu. Yes, he's not as reliant on service as Lukaku is. He can make something happen for himself.
Yeah.
See, you have
I
me
don't know, like
conflicted now.
No,
for me,
CR7,
for
Fetu,
me
how
as a
many
neutral,
goals
right?
has CR7 scored that you looked at and you were like, Fetu, that's a worldie.
I think he's got the potential to take majority of teams to the next level if you use him effectively. I think he's gotten a
Yeah.
lot older now, so you don't use him like he used to play for Real Madrid. He's got to be like his own free person, but you at least have to give him the freedom to do what he wants to do. At United, I don't believe he's got that support, and also don't believe he's got a system that supports any form of football at this point in time. I don't think United even know what their style is, unfortunately. No disrespect to you, X. I mean, we're going through the
I
same
know.
shit here. But I mean,
I
like,
know.
I don't know. At least your club hasn't been in transition for like 30 years. That feels what it feels like my whole life. Do you know what I mean? It's could be worse, bro. Could be worse.
Yeah.
But like to
on
me,
the-
I think he would have made any of the top 4 teams better, Ronaldo, right? Even City, I feel like he could have slotted in there. You find a way for Ronaldo and Messi to fit into your team. Don't play with yourself, dude.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you, you know. And plus, Ronaldo's got a better first touch.
Jeez, Lukaku's got the first touch of a baby elephant, my son.
Yeah.
Never seen it, bro. You paid 100 million for a donkey that doesn't have a first touch, bro.
Yeah. I mean, even Zlatan calls him
Quality.
a donkey. Yeah.
Bro, no, like I mean, it's not always bad, but sometimes you look at his first touch and you think to yourself, goodness gracious,
What
like
the
don't you play
hell?
football every day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like don't you
Yeah.
you
So,
play that
I
circle
normally
game where you have to
watch
keep the ball.
Yeah, I watch
Yeah.
the snippets where they show the guys in training, and I'm very so I'd watch out for his first touch in training, and you can see there's a first touch there. But come game time, I don't know what happens,
Just the
whether he gets
pressure.
excited,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just not there.
He's not a BMT player.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
been quality for Belgium, right? His numbers are good for Belgium.
Against
I mean,
small
is it the
teams.
system? Yeah, true.
Has Lukaku scored
Are
in a
they
big
not
way
small
where
teams?
where the game mattered, dude? I mean, against
Do you think
Italy, he
that?
was quiet. Has
Do
Lukaku
you think
ever
that
scored
it's?
in a game that really mattered?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he
Like a
doesn't have memorable
championship
moments.
winning game.
No, true. Yeah, he
Yeah, he's
doesn't
not
have
a
that
Drogba.
BMT.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. But Drogba was a beast of his own, eh? Jeez,
Yeah.
I think
that
Mike,
man
you
was
you
quality.
pitched this from like the first day that it was announced that he's signed for Chelsea, and you said he's not going to score in any of the big games. We're just hoping and praying that he gets his tally up with all these small teams. That in itself is not even happening. So now, yeah,
But
No,
guys, it also. Oh, sorry.
championships are won against the big teams, eh? You mean if you play Liverpool, that's a 6 point a game. Man City, 6 points also. It's a 6 point a game. You know what I mean? It's all fine and dandy, busy scoring against the likes of Burnley and stuff like that. But championships are won against big teams, dude. And I'm sorry, he lacks BMT. Even yesterday, I knew he wasn't going to score.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't
But
expect the performance that Ziyech had yesterday.
yeah,
yeah.
That's the only difference. In fact, I didn't expect that. I was like, yo, man, this guy's playing like somebody that's possessed today.
If you
Other than
recall,
that,
if you recall,
like there was not. Yeah, dude, if we played well, but like if we're gonna pick out about Lukaku, 100 million, dude, he didn't do enough once again. And like I said, if Tuchel has long lost my support. You know what I mean? I don't know. You can't justify starting Lukaku. I think it's 4 or 5 games in a row, and he hasn't really done much. Do you know what I mean? And you got Kai Havertz. Yes, Kai hasn't also really done much, but one thing about Kai, when it comes to big games, he turns up.
it shows up.
Yeah, he shows up. Even
You know
against
what I
Tottenham.
mean?
Didn't he score in the first leg of the
Yeah, he
Carabao
scored
Cup?
in the first leg.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even last year against when we were playing the likes in this, I think it was semi-final against Madrid. He showed up.
Yeah.
Exact same thing as Timo Werner. Yes,
Well,
Timo Werner might miss sitters, ne? But he
He scored in
shows
the
up in the
final.
big games. Huh?
Yeah.
He also scored in the final.
Yeah,
Guy.
he shows up in big games. So look, we're not gonna win Champions League if we starting Lukaku up front against big teams, dude. He's not gonna score.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And look, I think we're lucky that Tottenham was just shit yesterday.
Yeah, no, true. Like, let's be honest. Yeah, I was
We're
surprised by
lucky
your
that
guys'
Tottenham was
performance.
just shit, dude.
No, well, I mean,
Yeah,
like, bro. So we played a weekend cheat a team against Leicester, right? Okay.
yeah,
And against them, we looked a lot better. But like Chelsea have a proper lineup of quality players. We've got no depth. Son's injured, so we've got like Bergwijn that's just come out of injury that's starting for him. We've got Donkey Sanchez that we paid 42 million pounds. You know that's almost
Waste.
£1 billion, and he's one of the worst defenders I think I've seen. It's the most bizarre shit I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a defender that's more clumsy. Like he can't get the ball away from his feet, can't defend. I don't understand. And then there's some people that are saying that he needs to start over Dyer. Like you read Spurs posts and you're like, what are these guys like fucking blind? Like, are they
Yeah,
blind? Do they watch
I
football?
I
Because
compare him
Davison
to that.
Sanchez is terrible.
Yeah, I think
And so
Sanchez
we're
is
missing
in the same
Romero.
league. Is on the same league as Wan-Bissaka from Man United. I don't know how they made it to where they made it. You ask
No,
yourself
bro.
every game.
mm,
I think Wan-Bissaka became famous for that one match where he marked Hazard the whole game, and from then
yeah,
on it was stardom for him.
Listen,
But
I,
he is
I,
also crap.
I think
yeah,
Wan-Bissaka is like good defensively. Like he gets himself into the right positions to defend, but going forward, he's the most hopeless player I think I've ever seen. Like I've never seen a more indecisive player going forward. Like he never knows if he wants to run with the ball or if he wants to pass the ball or if he wants to cross the ball. So he
He
puts
can't
himself
cross for
into these
shit.
awkward positions where he like puts the ball out for a goal kick because he's trying to cross, but he didn't know if he was trying to pass to a guy that was running on. It's just bizarre. But I mean, like,
yeah,
if we take this back a few seasons to the season where we were competing with Leicester for the league, we had a solid spine, a consistent spine of players. We had Lloris, Vertonghen, and Alderweireld. We had Dembele and Wanyama, arguably both in their prime. And then you had Harry Kane up front. And then obviously Christian Eriksen as an attacking mid. Look, fast forward now and look at how our team is structured. You've got Eric Dyer, who I don't, I mean, he's good on certain days, but too inconsistent. You've got Davison Sanchez, who I don't want at my club. Christian Romero, when he's fit, I like what I've seen thus far. So hopefully when he
yeah,
comes back, there's something there. And then in our midfield, we've got Harry Winks and Hoiberg, and then Harry Kane up front. So in a spine, you've actually got your striker and your goalkeeper that you're confident in, right? I mean, I like Hoiberg's been okay since he's come in, very like inconsistent some games. Harry Winks just not good enough. He's gone sideways. He had like one good game against Real Madrid in that season in the Champions League, and then just went sideways, like never went forward, just never progressed. So to me, we've got so much work to do with this team, and I hope it's just not like an Arsenal or United type of situation where the manager doesn't get back, because we've arguably got one of the best managers in the world right now. But if he doesn't get back, we're wasting our time yet. You know what I mean? Are we trying to be like a profitable run club where you're just making enough profits? Or are you actually going to win to compete things? Like you built the state of the art stadium for what? Like, are you going to keep trophies in it, or is it just to get fans in? You know what I'm saying? So I
it's for the
hope that he
NFL, bro. It's for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
NFL.
Fuck, bro.
I think
So
here's the
I'm just
question for
hoping that he
everybody.
backs.
Yeah,
Now, but the thing is, I don't think for the way Tottenham want to play, and I'm looking at it from back with Maurizio, dude. You guys have gotten two defensive coaches. It's not the Tottenham way.
No, I know, but I mean, like, who else are we going to
It's
get
not
though?
the Tottenham way.
Who are you going to sign as a manager? Who's available in the market? Who was available after Nuno? There's no one. I mean, we
Look, I
this
mean,
contract with
Maurizio wasn't as big back then when he first started with Tottenham. You know, I think you need to just get a manager that basically plays attacking football, plays the Tottenham way. You
but
know,
who are you going to sign?
I think
Who's the
That's
manager?
but look
Who's the
back
manager?
then. Yeah,
But I'm saying, who's the manager that you would recommend now? I never wanted Pochettino to go. You can ask anyone that's ever spoken
yeah,
to me. I would
yeah.
have,
That's true.
I'd rather finished 12th in the league and kept Pochettino than sell him. But I mean, you know, you can't cry over
I'll,
spilled milk. You got to move on. But I just like, who would you get? Like, I'm
dude,
asking your
I'll get the
personal
Leeds
opinion.
manager.
I don't know. It's a decent shot. I mean, some people were saying.
Oh,
I think he
the
plays
outside.
attacking football.
Yeah.
You up the fitness levels of your team, and I mean, like,
just
yes, Conte is a whole beater, but I've seen him come to Chelsea, spend millions on useless players. Where you
but he
look
won
at
him
it, you like,
trophies.
yeah,
He
yeah,
won
but
the yeah.
he only won the league, eh? He won the league, and I
And
think
the
the
FA Cup.
See what I'm saying? This is what happens when
Eden
you're a Chelsea
Hazard.
fan. He only
Yeah.
won you the league.
No,
You know what
no,
I'm saying?
no.
He won,
Bro,
No,
he won
there's
the
hear
certain
me out.
teams like Liverpool that
Hear me
haven't
out.
won the league in 30 years. Do you know why? Because a lot of people said that they were only a team that could compete in competitions like the Champions League because it was 2 legs and they had Anfield. Over an 18, like playing 2 teams 18 times a season, that was the hardest thing Liverpool had to find, and it took them 30 years to do it, right? This was it 30 years. X, how long has it been since?
Yeah, it was 30. Yeah, 30. Premier League. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Look,
1990.
bro.
I understand winning is
Yeah.
important, yeah, but how you win is also. So I think when you look at the likes of Liverpool, they play attractive football. You can sit and watch a Liverpool game. Even back then with Arsene Wenger, when they weren't winning much, like you can literally, you're not an Arsenal supporter, you can literally sit and watch an Arsenal game. You know,
And they
exact
always seem
same
to sell.
thing with Man City. They play attractive football. It's not just about, how do I say this? And this is why maybe I think Man City, in terms of revenue, I think they generated more than Man United over the last year. It's because it's
Yeah.
attractive football. You know, I mean, yes,
Yeah.
Man City they've got all these underground supporters these days, but who'd blame them, dude? And at the end of the day, it's all about playing beautiful football. We don't want to
Yeah.
see you call yourself the champions of Europe and you're busy parking a bus against a team. You know what I mean? Or the
I got
Premier
you.
League champions and you're playing what's this defensive football the whole time. Like, yes, you won the league, but at the exact same time, like, I'm like, football is art, guys. It's not just
Yeah.
about winning; it's how you win. You know what I mean?
I mean, everybody wishes
You
that they
cannot
could
be
play like
spending
City and Liverpool, bro, but
hundred and
it's not.
no, I get it, but they play attacking football. You cannot be spending hundreds of millions on players, and then you come back and you play defensive football. You know what I mean? You come back and you make excuses like, no, the other team is not good enough. Hence why we parked the bus. But you're just busy spending 100, like 70, 80 million rand on players, 40 million on Bakayako.
Yeah, Baki, yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I
that was a
mean?
waste. Yeah, that
That
was
was
a
a
waste.
waste.
And then it's the exact same thing. Didn't they buy about drink water?
Oh yeah, I remember Ross
That was a panic
Barkley.
buy, bro.
Yeah,
That was with Ross Barkley and them.
exact
Buy
same
one
thing. We
get
spent
five.
how much?
One.
70 million on Alvaro Morata. And you can't say you're not being backed, but you're going to come and play defensive football. It's just the exact same thing. I have a problem with Tuchel. You know what I mean? You cannot go spend 100 million rand on a strike and then come back and say, you know what? Man City are a better team. Like, nah, dude, you're the bloody champions of Europe.
But back to
You know what
Spurs.
I mean? This is the exact same thing is that even at Real Madrid, you can win trophies, but if your style plays shit, you're not going to last long.
Yeah.
Exact
But like
same
back
thing with
to
maybe even Barcelona. It's all about
Barca are
playing
trash.
attractive football.
Yeah.
back to Spurs. How many players would you need right now for Spurs to be on the same level as Liverpool, your Chelsea and your Man City? Because I looked at the side yesterday. Probably keeping 3 players. The rest
Yeah,
are not good enough
literally.
to actually
No,
warrant
literally.
a place in
Yeah.
any of the other 3 teams.
No,
Who'd you
yeah, and
keep?
you say that. You say that I'd keep Lloris. I would keep Kane. Even though Lloris doesn't have good feet, I think he's still arguably a very good keeper. I just don't see us getting another keeper that I really like at this point in time. Lloris, Kane, Son, and Reguilon. And maybe Romero. I want to see more of Romero. He's just been fucking injured this whole season, so I haven't seen enough. Those are the only players that I'd keep in my starting 11 against, like, if you want to play against Liverpool. I think every other player I think is replaceable. Otherwise,
What about
so
Lucas?
you need literally no. Lucas can't lay a 5-yard pass, Mora.
You've got these
Fucking
nicknames.
player can literally dollar a whole team, but he can't lay a 5-yard ball. No, bro, please. He doesn't have space in my team, bro. against Liverpool
Yeah.
or City. No, I'm sorry. Listen, he's been very good for us, and I'll never forget that night at Ajax. I just don't understand how he can't pass half the time. Like, it's 5 or 10 yard passes, simple basics. The man can't do it. I don't know. He's too inconsistent for me, bro. Like, we really need. It's like a complete overhaul, Sihle. It's not even. It's silks and rags. Like, Liverpool, City, and Chelsea have gone so far ahead of us that it's like a joke, right? If you look at Spurs, United, and Arsenal, who are arguably like consistently in the top 4 with you guys, what, 3, 4 seasons ago,
Yeah.
to like living in your shadows. Like, I almost knew every single game you guys were going to beat us like comfortably, right? It's just terrible to watch, right? But I mean,
But
you go through this whole
has Daniel
transition
Levy
period again.
committed? Has Daniel Levy committed that he's going to help this transfer? He's going to do like last minute deals.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
DanielLevy.com, like the last hour. I don't know. I think he's committed. Otherwise, I don't think Conte would have signed. But he's always got a way to worm his way out so that he doesn't fully back the manager. We saw it with Mourinho. We'll see it with Conte now, because I'll tell you what, Conte is just going to fucking leave. He's going to be like, nah.
He did that in Italy, where he won.
Yeah,
he
He
said-
his team.
and
He
it
literally
did.
won.
You know what?
Yeah,
These
exactly.
guys, yeah.
Said, nah,
Yeah.
I'm done. You don't want to support my dreams, because he's obviously got Patrici there, and they've got this like relationship or whatever, right? And they've got this vision for where they want to see the club. But I mean, I think the first step is trying to compete for that 4th spot. And I think, like, with our games in hand, we have the ability to do that. Like, we've gone to a team that was just about almost competing for the league to now trying to compete for Champions League again. Like, that's how far we've come off, right? So we've got a long way to go, and I think a complete overhaul. And that's like on the basis that Harry Kane doesn't leave. Because if he leaves, oh my God. Let me tell you, that one game I was watching, it was like the second leg or the first leg of the fucking Carabao. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just felt so sorry for Harry Kane, bro. I was like watching the team around him, and I was just like, and you see his quality, right? The way that he, holds the ball, gets into position, holds up play, brings in his teammates, and you just like, I just feel sorry for him, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
He's one player that I wanted over Lukaku. I remember that there was that whole kerfuffle.
he
with
would
his
score
brother
20 goals
Adrian.
easy in your Chelsea team. Easy.
yeah.
He'd
That's
fucking
true.
bang them in
That's
for
the player
fun.
that I go for,
Him
not
at
Cristiano.
City or him at Chelsea, take them both to like winning the league, I think, bro.
Yeah, or even the Champions League, bro. Especially
Dude.
from a City standpoint. I mean, Kane is clinical. He's
Dude,
clinical.
100%.
And
He's got BMT. He's just all round. Bro, he's also like, what people disregard also is like a proper professional, right? Like, he's a proper role model to have and a good person to have in the change room, I think, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know what really irritates me? These French players, like fucking N'Golo Kante is probably the only decent one that I like, bro. Pogba, Tanguy, Ndombele, bro, they are the biggest scum on the planet. Legit. Bang on the tubes, rotten hand apples, spoiled.
Do you know what team
Terrible.
knows how to shop in France? Leicester.
Leicester, bro. Leicester are the kings of
Leicester know.
They go to the thrift shop, those guys, bro. They'll just cop a jacket that looks like it's worth 10,000 rand, bro. But it really isn't, bro. Like, that's why I like teams like Leicester, even Borussia Dortmund as well. Dortmund's constantly recycle players, bro. Like, they're constantly replacing them with look at Haaland, for instance, especially the number 9 position. Like last
Lewandowski and then Haaland,
bro.
Man.
Like, even
we should have actually went for Haaland, eh?
Yeah, you see,
I wanted Haaland or Messi.
Yeah, it was going to be too pricey. I think it was bordering 200, and that's before the agent wanted his cut.
Raiola.
Yeah, but we could have went for Messi, Joe.
Yeah, and Messi would have really.
Yeah, Messi would have worked wonders with our team, Joe. We don't need this traditional number 9, Joe. We don't need people that have statues up top or lampposts. We don't.
Yeah.
We really don't. And I think we won Champions League without having a traditional number 9. I wanted Messi. He was a free agent. All you needed to pay was his wages. Yes, you would have broken our wage structure, but at the end of the day, from a marketing standpoint,
that would have been
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Bro.
No,
That
from a
would have been
marketing
huge.
standpoint, dude, you would have had probably another 1 million Chelsea supporters today. Walking around with a Messi jersey.
Wait, X, we haven't raised the biggest like talking points of the game, right? As a neutral fan, that push in the back at the penalty spot, Chelsea fans will say it was
That
100%
was
a free
soft.
kick.
It was a goal.
As a United fan, would you say that was a
Yeah,
foul?
that push.
Yes.
Hmm.
I watched it a couple
Uh,
times, and even like I try to be
yeah.
objective about it. I was like, that's
Hmm.
minimal. Like uh, to me, that was minimal contact. He was looking for some form of contact in the
Hmm.
back of his, in his back there. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'd love to hear
Yeah.
your
No. No.
opinion.
No. Yeah. No. In my opinion, yes, I also think it is quite minimal for the mere fact that we all going. We're not really
Yeah,
100% sure
because that's
about it.
important to the game.
Yeah, it is.
So
It is. It
It
is.
kills
I
the
watched
flow.
it. I watched the game at the pub. So there was quite a lot of fans, and I
Yeah.
promise you, plus minus, let's say there was 60 people. Out of the 60 people, 30 were saying that it's too soft, and 30 were saying it's a foul. So it's one of
Oh,
those where like it's right
That's
in
what
the
I'm
middle.
saying.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's
That's
Yeah.
not really
awkward, bro. It's just a
that. It
controversial
was
decision.
soft.
But I
Yeah.
mean, like VAR. I don't know. You had every single pundit that was watching the game said that it was too soft. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
my thing is, right? VAR was supposed to come into the game to eradicate indecisiveness,
such.
or
Yeah.
to make things more unified. You
Yeah.
go to a previous game. I can't remember which game they were talking about, but a similar incident happened and it was overruled. The goal was given. So there's so much inconsistencies with VAR that I'm wondering why
Yeah.
the fuck we brought it into the game.
I
You know
think
what I
And
mean?
as
VAR
It's
did
not
a
well.
a
thorough
perfect
show
science.
this weekend.
Yeah. And as
Yeah,
well.
this weekend for VAR. I mean,
Yeah.
Man United, that
Yeah,
goal was
the
crazy.
Liverpool
Onside.
one.
The
That was
Liverpool
offside,
one,
dude.
that one pissed me off.
Did
The
you see
Liverpool
the
one really
line?
pissed me off.
Yeah.
The Liverpool one.
Yeah,
Yo.
that really pissed me off. And I'm not going to talk about Man United and how offside Cavani was, because yeah, you just get my temper going. I don't want to talk about it. But VAR this weekend was shit, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah, but guys, it's only shit in England. It works well in Spain, in Italy, and in the
Yeah.
Champions League. But in England, it's weird shit,
But
which
what
says,
is the difference? Like, why aren't they following the same system? Do you know what I mean?
yeah. And it's also the quality of refereeing, guys. I mean, if in Spain and Italy, like I watch Serie A highlights, I do watch Real Madrid. I like Vinicius. I'm a huge fan of Vinicius. He just came out the blue like a motherfucking smurf, and he's just dribbling people like he's nothing. So yeah, man, I just feel like in England, even Saar, I think your defender. There's a player who stepped on Saar's ankle, bro. Who was it, man?
Oh,
From Tottenham. Yeah,
Doherty.
for me,
Jeez, that
that
was
one,
bad. That
bro,
was
that was
bad,
bad.
bro.
He could
That
have
was bad.
And
potentially
VAR, shush.
nothing, not
Yeah,
even a
VAR did
yellow,
nothing.
bro.
He didn't get a yellow,
He
bro.
didn't even get a
Like,
yellow.
he tried to go for the ball, but the way that his
Yo,
studs hit his ankle, like he rolled his ankle, and I was like, oh, it's a fucking red. It could be easily a
yo,
red. And
I
then
saw
like
red,
the
bro.
ref doesn't even give a yellow card, and you think to yourself, "Whoa, where's the consistency here, bro?" Do you know what I
See,
mean?
you see
I
that?
don't
And
know.
But yeah,
even,
the Man
yeah,
United game, honestly, to be honest, that what pissed me off is I was waiting for the line. When they do that whole
to be
review VAR and they draw the line
drawn.
and they
Yeah,
didn't bother. I'm like, why didn't you bother? And the next thing the ref just blew that the game was done. Like, what the hell was that? And then the Liverpool one,
Uh,
Palace is on the up, and Jota literally is diving, looking for the pin, and he's not gonna get the ball. And they go right ahead, and VAR says, "Yep, it's a pin." Like, someone explain that to me. Maybe
I
I
don't
just
know.
don't
We've had
understand the
some.
rules of it. He
we-
wasn't
we-
on. He
yeah,
wasn't getting it.
no, I don't know. We've had some very suspect calls with us as well. Like, uh, where you just thinking to yourself, is there really like a fucking panel of people watching the same thing that I'm watching here? Like, you know what I mean? We've had some clear cut penalties for us, and I'm pretty sure it's happened with all of you guys as well. Like, I can't say that I
yeah,
consistently watch all of your games like I used to. I just don't like have enough. I don't spend as much time watching other football as I used to. But I'm talking from like my perspective. In certain games, like against Southampton, against Leicester, we've had proper VAR decisions go against us. Where you're like, are these guys in the panel smoking crack? Like, are they watching the same shit? Like, are they?
Yeah,
You
Man
know what I
United
mean?
never suffer. Man United never suffer from that. They always get the
bro,
decisions.
bro, that was onside. Didn't you see the line? I think Chubby
Which
in the
line?
group. Chubbs.
That
Chubbs in the group
squiggly line
saying,
that you
Nah,
drew.
dude, that looked
oh,
like
No, it
it
was
was
a squiggly
offside.
line
That
that
one.
you drew.
yo, okay, but okay, on the real, like I won't lie. I was watching the game from a restaurant. I had to ditch my girlfriend for like 5 minutes. I was like, you know what? I just need to check this out. And then when I saw the build up and everything, and then I saw Martial controlling, in my mind, I'm like, don't pass because
Don't pass to Cavani.
Cavani, because I could
Yeah.
see he was gonna pass. And when he passed, and then Rashford scored, I paused because I never celebrate anymore because of VAR.
Dude,
VAR
so
has killed
terrible.
that thing. Yeah, bro. So I never celebrate, especially if it's like a winning goal, like a last minute winner or
So
something.
that happened to
like
us
those
3
sorts.
times against Chelsea the other night, where 3
You
goals
see.
were like disallowed. It was terrible.
Yo,
Fucking
bro,
hate VAR.
No, but
You
those
can't
were
even
legit,
celebrate.
dude. Like, it's
No,
literally
no,
some
no. I
guys
know,
paid
I
that
know.
ref
But
that
listen
day,
to
dude.
what he's saying. It's like
Yeah, you
VAR's
can't
taken the
celebrate
enjoyment
anymore,
out of the
man.
game anymore. You just don't
Oh,
celebrate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
especially even
You
if
celebrate,
the
and I celebrated 3 times, and then it goes back. You're like fucking VAR,
no,
VAR, VAR.
yeah,
And they were right, but
exactly.
it still sucks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you go from here to here in
bro.
like 2 minutes.
Because people in the
Sorry,
restaurant were celebrating, yeah, and I'm like, oh, that looked like it's offside. So let me not celebrate. And then it didn't even go upstairs to VAR, so I was
It
confused. I'm
didn't.
like, what's going
What's
on
going?
now?
Yeah, that's
And
my
then
exact point.
kickoff. I'm like, we're
What's
lying.
going
Like
on?
I even chilled and wait for the analysts to actually show
match
the
fixing, bro.
offside line. And it never appeared. They just showed the goal over and over. Actually, it did appear, but it showed Cavani as onside, which for me it was suspect. I would lie, Sihle. It was suspect.
Moyes,
And for me,
Moyes
yeah,
was livid. Moyes was
yeah,
livid, and I can understand where he's coming from. I mean,
yeah,
they played very well, and a draw
yeah.
would have been a good reflection of the game. But to be cheated like that was terrible. That was bad.
You see. And that's the sad reality with VAR in England. I mean,
Yeah,
see,
it's
I'm
like
not
not
gonna,
come in.
yeah,
It's not come in and change the game. It's like
yeah,
literally caused more controversy than anything. Do you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Well, it gives X content. But Newcastle picked up 3 points.
Yeah, ish, yeah,
That's a
finally.
huge one for them.
But like the
Yeah.
goalkeeper as well. What was Leeds keeper doing there? Like,
who?
huh? Leeds' goalkeeper, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he should have saved that, bro. Like, he should have saved that. And
But
Leeds are at the
here's a
bottom,
prediction for
bro.
you. I
Yeah.
see Everton being dragged into into the relegation battle.
Are
If they
you for
continue at
real?
the rate that if they continue at the rate that they're going at, I see them being dragged into that battle down there.
Yo, bro. And as well, what's crazy is that the assist was from Luca Dean, right? And Luca Dean was
Yeah.
It's
sold
just
to
been
Villa.
sold. Yeah, like 2 games
Aish,
ago.
aish, man. But I'm also surprised why Dean chose Aston Villa because I feel like Dean is good enough to play for a top team. I mean, he
Yeah, I
starts
Yeah,
for
think
the
he's been
French
I mean,
national
he's been
Chelsea had
team.
put
good.
in a bid as well.
Yeah,
And I think yeah, he had decided that he was going to Villa. He got sold on the project. Yeah, and I rate him as well. When they said he might be coming to Chelsea, I was actually
yeah,
quite excited. But yeah, he's gone.
yeah.
They've got a good team. Villa's got a solid team. They just need to gel together, and they'll put up a good fight.
What do you mean you sold on
Yeah.
a Aston Villa project, Joe? So, you
Just like
guys even
Conte,
tried.
just like Conte was sold
So,
on the
so, so
Spurs
wait. So now on, we're
project.
busy losing players to Aston Villa, Joe. Nah, did these guys try, dude? That's my question. Did they try?
Yeah, I think they did put in a bid. I just don't know that it fizzled over very soon.
But no, I mean, was it after he had signed already, or it's just like pretty much he was going in
I think
tomorrow to sign the papers?
his agent was advertising him everywhere, and Villa were very quick to snatch
Yeah,
him
but
up.
my thing is like, how the hell does Chelsea Football Club get beaten by Aston Villa for a play?
Well, I mean,
They
is he going to
tried.
start?
Like,
Is he going to start for Chelsea?
over a
You
You
lot.
gotta
will.
understand that the league is made up of players with different minds. You got some players that are willing to sit on the bench and be a part of a team and win. But you've also got players that would rather play for a team consistently and play every single game.
Nah, but I think how old is he? He's 28 now.
I don't know.
Dark check
I'd be
me.
lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about 28. You 28. I'm
Yeah,
sure
28.
Chelsea came in with probably like at least give a player 100 and something K a week or 120. You are gonna take the better paycheck.
But I mean, did you guys really offer for him?
I don't.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I don't think they
Yeah,
offered for him.
Yeah.
apparently there was an
Cannot.
offer that was put in.
But I mean, was it a rumors or was it an offer? There's a difference. I'm just
Yeah.
Yeah,
asking.
that's
I
the
think it
other
was.
thing.
I
Because
think it was
Spurs have been
rumors.
going for fucking everyone that's listed as an agent in the market. But it doesn't mean we've put in an offer, right?
It
Do you remember how
reminded me of you
embarrassing that
guys'
shit was when we lost
your
we lost
manager.
Mourinho? Literally, fucking every morning I wake up, we are in the market for a different manager. I was like, we are a club whore. What is going on here? What? Like every single day, it was another manager. It was like the Ajax manager turned us down. I was like, oh my god, this is just getting embarrassing now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could have gotten but Eric.
Ten Hag.
At the time.
Can you handle?
Yeah, you know what's the problem,
Yeah.
right? I think if you guys had the Newcastle owners coming at Tottenham,
Oof.
then you guys would have been serious game players then.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
You
problem
can
is
only
that
wish.
Enoch,
No,
I
I
don't know.
mean I'm
Part of our
serious.
owners
Like if those
are
guys,
billionaires. If they want to
yeah,
spend money, they can. So owners, the owners, Enoch, are like they're not. I mean, they're not poor. They're not. They don't have the money like the sheiks that own Man City or what you might call it, Newcastle now. But
Newcastle.
like
Yeah.
he's not battling to pay school fees, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but he's
He's
not
a
gonna be willing to pay.
multi-billionaire in pounds.
Yeah, but he's not. He cannot compete with those guys. That's what I'm saying. If
No,
let's
it's
say if
impossible
the
to
guys
compete with them.
from Spurs, I mean not from
Newcastle
Newcastle,
got you.
bought you guys. Yeah, I think dude, within 2 years, you guys we'd be talking about Tottenham winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
No, I
Because there's
know.
not much that needs to be done at Spurs as well. It's just
Yeah,
right now you guys
Just
just
steering
need
the
the
kid.
funding. Yeah, and they also
Yeah,
just need guap,
yeah. They need
Unlike
yeah,
Man
just need the
United,
funding.
bro. Unlike Man
You
United,
need an owner that's not scared to take out
yeah,
the
to
checkbook.
splurge, bro. Yeah,
but
bro.
that's the thing. Like,
Well,
you know what the
look at
problem was?
Arsenal, guys. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Look at Arsenal. Arsenal have been spending, and where are they now?
But on the
They failed
wrong
to score.
players.
but but like
They failed to
Chaka,
score 4 games in a row.
Yeah, they're like the recruitment policies like Man United's. The recruitment has just been poor. It's like with us, we have the funds. Like I know money wise we have the guap, but we just don't use it correctly because we don't
yeah,
have the correct structures at the top. When you look, I envy teams like Chelsea and Man City, especially City, bro, because with City, every time they sign someone, that guy would look dodgy in the first season, but from the second season onwards, they just become a different player. Look at João Cancelo right now, man.
Yeah,
Rodri,
Cancelo is one. He's
but you know
yeah.
what? But you know
bro.
what the thing is? Like they're
Yeah,
getting these players that there's continuity, right? So you're right, but
yeah,
they're getting a player that has the opportunity to bet in and learn a structure. Like fucking
yeah,
Spurs wait until the wheels fall off before they sign a player, which is why we're in the shit in the first place. Daniel Levy
yeah,
lets Mauricio Pochettino have a young squad that aged without rotating and getting new blood in. So he let fucking
exactly.
Vertonghen and Alderweireld retire before getting proper Rolls Royce defenders to take over from them. Like it's one thing to
Yeah,
have a solid spine. It's another thing if you let that spine go. You've seen it at United. Look at what happened when
yo,
Fergie left. You had an aging squad that won trophy after trophy that became shit. And then every manager that took over them afterwards realized, brother, I don't just need 11 players. I need
bro.
fucking 22. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it's not going to be like plug and play. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you need
yeah,
an overhaul. Like I just said to you, I only keep 3 players in my team. 3. Do you know what I mean? Imagine what my bench is looking like.
Damn.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, bro?
yeah,
So like,
exactly. And
you
and
got
and
to,
we
you
pretty
got to,
much, yeah.
yeah.
No, I was just
Go.
saying as well, we pretty much as well allowing City to go on another rebuild because when you look at their squad, they've now signed younger players, 23,
Yeah.
24, around that age gap. I mean, sorry, age group, and they basically rebuilding again. And these guys just fit in like a glove, bro. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy, man. How I just hey man, I just envy these teams. It's like even with Liverpool. Klopp, I always tell people Klopp's makeup is so powerful, bro. Like guys like Henderson, even who's this guy? Curtis Jones was playing over the weekend. I'd never want Curtis Jones at my team, but because Liverpool have such a good manager who can just bring out the best out of anyone, I mean, and who has a proper system,
Are
at
you
hand
seeing
as
what
well.
are you seeing what's happening with Jota now at Liverpool? He is becoming a
Bro,
superstar.
yeah,
When he
dude,
was at Wolves, I used to rate him as a decent player, but now
mm,
he's a different beast
bro,
altogether.
Yeah.
man, he knocked
There's a,
Arsenal
sys-
out, right? Yeah,
there's a
And how
system. I
much was
mean,
he?
huh? He was, I think he was 40 or 50 mil. But there's a system, dude. And they play attacking football. Like,
yeah,
trust and believe, you take Werner, if Werner went to Liverpool, you'd be speaking about him right now.
real talk,
You know what
real
I
talk.
mean?
I
About
agree with
Sadio
you with
Mane
that.
and about Salah missed chances too, Joe. It's just good to Liverpool creates a whole lot of chances.
Yo, bro, it's just chance after chance. Even
It's
with the
terrifying
second
when you
team,
play against
bro.
Liverpool. Shit. I hate
Yeah,
it.
bro. And like me, bro. They gave me they gave me five, bro. I don't think
Nah, but you
has Liverpool
deserved it.
given
You've
you
got
five.
Maguire in the back. You've got
Ish,
who do
bro,
you have?
God,
five.
You've got
Harry
Lindelof.
Maguire.
No, my God, you
Yo,
deserve that five.
you see our recruitment, City, as I was saying, our recruitment, these guys are on a lot of money as well, bro. So selling them
Nah, but I
is
think yeah,
tough, bro.
your recruitment is very
Yo,
gullible. They try to go for the in player for that particular season, and that doesn't always work out the same. And yeah,
yeah, it's like
your pay
But like,
structure.
why did you guys buy
it's,
Van der Beek? Why?
you see what
I'm
I'm
struggling to
saying?
understand.
Why? It's because
But
Van der
also not
Sar
playing.
suggested him. You see, it's
Yeah,
it's also
that
messed
boy
up
is
what we're
talented.
doing to him.
Bro, I think
They're
It's
messing
like
up
he's
his career, to be
talent.
honest. Mm.
yeah, it's
I
like
think
even with
he's a
me.
talent.
Yeah, it's like even with me with Sancho as well. Sancho is a quality
That's a
player.
waste of money. Nah, it's a
I
waste.
just question. No, it's not a waste, bro. Sancho can ball, bro. In my
A 90
opinion,
million rand
under
player.
dude,
Is he a
I
90
just
million player?
he isn't. He isn't. I don't think he is. But of course, when you look at his age, you look at his
He's
potential
English.
growth, his English
Yeah, the English
jersey
premium,
sales.
and also
There's a lot of
But
yeah,
as soon
things
as
that
you
and
come
say he's
into
English,
play.
his price goes double. Like you can say he's
You
45
see,
pounds, 45 million pounds. Okay, you have to pay 70 because he's English and you have to meet the
you
quota
see,
system in England.
yeah.
and now
But I
his
mean,
package is on what? He's on 250 per week, and this is a
no,
20
it's
year old.
350,
Three
bro. It's
300.
350. Yeah, it's 350. He's in the
I
top
remember
10
Harry
when
Kane doesn't
highest
even earn
paid.
that, eh?
You see,
Nah, but remember
United,
when no, when Martial
we,
first came into the scene, yo, he was proper.
he was,
He was like
He
he
was a
had
bro.
that
one-hit wonder.
he like in fact he came in to the
French,
scene before Mbappe, Joe.
You
He
know
French,
why?
took
It's
lazy,
he
because
bad
became
attitude.
stagnant.
no, guys, it was Van Gaal who signed Martial. LVG
Yo,
knew how to
when he
use
came fit,
Martial,
Mm.
and
he
then
had that
Martial got
Thierry Henry thing to him, Joe. That side foot finish.
yeah, that's cut off. Yeah,
But
Ish,
once
man.
Yeah,
again,
but
But hey,
French, bad
right now
attitude.
his
French, bad
attitude, yeah, his
attitude.
attitude is shit.
No,
yeah,
but
French
look,
bad
look at it,
attitude.
bro. Look at
It's
it.
just a
It's French
system, Joe.
players. They've got
It's a
like the worst
system.
attitude.
yeah.
Nah, it's a system. I think
Don't
it's at the end
involve
of the day.
Kante in that French
No, but
player.
I said, N'Golo Kante is the only decent person I know. Like, bro, even look at like a Mendy, a Matuidi, a Pogba, a Martial. But I'm talking about these players that like have this arrogance. They've got a flair about them and they're good. But sometimes they just like
They can't
toxic, like
back up the
Tanguy and
arrogance.
Dembele. Bro, that Tanguy and Dembele, let me tell you, I've
Talented.
not seen so much talent in a player, but he's got the worst attitude. And there's sometimes nothing that you can do with a player like that. There's literally nothing because he thinks the sun shines out of his ass. he will not be good enough in most teams, and most managers will not like him. But he might work at some other team. Do you know what I mean? But he's got an abundance of talent. I haven't seen a
Yeah,
player duller players like that. Like his ability to
yeah,
drive through the midfield is
yeah.
insane. But he's got
You
one of the
might.
worst attitudes. Do you know that in a full half of football under Mourinho, he didn't clock in one sprint as a midfielder, bro? A
That's
midfielder.
crazy. Yo, yo,
My
yo.
man.
That is
Was it the
insane.
time that Mourinho took him out in the in the beginning of the second half? I
Correct.
think he
Yeah,
then decided to jog, not even run. He was just walking. I think you guys were losing. He was
Literally walking.
walking out. Yeah.
But
yes,
I'm just
it's
saying, like,
crazy.
it's like, I don't know, some of them just have bad attitudes. I'm generalizing here. I don't, not all of them. Like you say, there's N'Golo Kante, Hugo Lloris, there's some players with some decent attitudes there, but some of them are like proper rotten apples. Like Martial, I can see it in him. I can see it in Pogba. I can see it in a player like Ndombele. It's just, I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like the atmosphere in United right now is so toxic. Like, when you guys are losing, it's terrible, bro.
yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. I'm sure Ralph as well is like, damn, he's feeling the heat right now. I'm sure he's like,
Nah, but
damn, man,
one thing I
for
hate
sure.
about your current manager, your caretaker
Yeah,
manager, is he's very quick to chuck his players under the bus. Very, very quick. I mean, for him to go out and issue a statement that Martial didn't want to be part of the team, like what the fuck is that? It's a player that you're trying to sell, and whoever's going to buy him is busy thinking, well, is he going to want to play for my team or not? Because I think Newcastle were interested, but now
Yeah.
you've literally just priced him out of that move, potential move.
Yeah,
yeah. I
I
think
respect that about Kante. Like Kante, like when they try and talk about Tanga and Debele, he's like, I'd rather not speak about a player when he's not here to, defend himself or talk. I mean, like you
yeah,
said, Sikla, I think I agree with that. I don't think you should ever create an atmosphere where you're talking about your players to the public. It just creates animosity in the dressing room.
exactly. That's so true. Yeah, no, that's true. That's part of the reasons why he's a person who's meant to be upstairs instead of in the change room, at the end of the day. But I still think that he will benefit us in the long run, especially if he's at the top, because we're now gonna start recruiting. Our recruitment will improve, and as well, we're not gonna be after the most expensive player that's out there. We'll now
So are
start unraveling
you
gems.
restarting this project of yours? Probably gonna win the Champions League in 5 years.
Now, I wouldn't say restart because I feel like we still have players. There are players who I think they are quite decent, to play for
But how are
Man
you gonna move
United.
your current players though?
With that
It's gonna be
salary, with the current
it's
wages.
gonna be unless if we pay them out, right? Like in the NBA, that's what they normally do. If let's say you earn crazy money, they just pay you out and then they sell they transfer you. So if your contract is 44 million a year, they'll say, okay, take your 44, fuck off, and then it clears up the salary cap for them. You're allowed to do
Like,
that in the
clever.
NBA.
Just send us Mason Greenwood.
Yeah.
We're sorted.
Yeah.
It's like
That kid is
Mourinho,
a
bro.
star.
Mourinho was like shit for three legs of his managerial ship and got paid like over £100 million.
Listen to that. It's because he's
United,
marketable.
Chelsea, and Spurs, and you got paid like over 100 million, guys. Let me tell you, that man's the biggest con artist of our generation.
But he won your
I
team
think
trophies,
I think
CJ.
I
He
think
won
Romelu
his
Lukaku
three
is a con artist
leagues.
also. That's
No,
what Mike is
I'm
gonna say.
joking. I mean, you can't disregard what Mourinho has done. I'm just joking. But I mean,
Mm.
like, imagine getting paid 100 million. Like, imagine someone said to you, X,
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you £100 million, but you just have to do your job shit.
Oh yeah. Hey man.
I don't want you to
That's
win
no
me
pressure,
anything.
man.
That's like
how's he
literally what
doing
he
at
did at
Roma?
Spurs.
How is he
Yeah.
doing at
No,
Roma
just
now?
I don't know. I
Uh,
haven't been
We're
following him.
eighth, Joe.
they
Eight.
ate.
Yeah, eighth
But I
in
mean,
the
Yeah.
he also takes on projects. Like, some people wanted to go to Spurs. I think
Mhm.
it's a death chalice, that boy.
Nah,
Like,
I think
because you just don't know what you're going to get with Daniel Levy. I think you get a phenomenal club in the form of our stadium and training grounds. It's well situated. Like, London's an amazing city. Do you know what I mean? To attract players, it's not like going to a Liverpool where the city's not
Manchester.
as nice as Manchester, for example, bro. But I
Yeah.
mean, I just want Levy to actually back a manager. But I want a manager that comes in and gets the right players. Like, I don't know if it's like um, Mourinho going to him. I think it was Pochettino that signed Davison Sanchez, right? But let's just say, Pochettino goes there. Okay, The Rolls Royce I want is De Ligt. The plan B is Sanchez, and then Daniel Levy's just like, sorry, I could only get you plan B. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, what actually happens? Like, is it that we just go for the plan B players instead of the actual players that we want, and that's why we're in this situation, or what actually happens? But
It could
I
But
actually
don't
I
be
think
know
Plan
that
C.
question.
With Daniel
no, it's
Levy,
not
it could be
about
Plan
plan.
C.
I don't think. I think you guys have got it wrong, dude. And I think we need to look back at Klopp, for example. You know, like when Klopp went to Liverpool, they weren't any world class players. You need somebody that's going to turn average players and make them world class. Your coaches that you've gotten are the ones that used to take out the checkbook. Let's buy. I mean, a few years ago when you looked at that Liverpool team, dude, even Mohamed Salah, you're like,
Everton.
he was busy making his Italy.
Exactly.
Mane, you were like, I know he's good at Southampton. You wouldn't put him in the world class category. Exact same thing. Henderson, you'd be like, yo, he's English. It's below average.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Look
Um,
now.
the only one that they bought that was high value was Van Dijk
Bobby,
and
Yeah.
also and a keeper.
Yeah.
Robertson,
yeah, listen,
I never knew about him.
Yeah. I
Uh,
played for Hull City,
Trent,
Robertson.
Trent, exact same thing. I never Trent
Academy. He's from the
Academy.
academy.
Jesus, bro,
Yeah.
quality.
Gomez, Matip
Academy.
came in a low. I
Yeah.
mean, come now, guys. It's not. It's sometimes it's a manager you get. Dude. You're gonna need to get some. I like look. Even Maurizio, Joe, when he came, he didn't buy a whole lot of world class players.
No,
You know what
I
I
know,
mean? He
but
turned
that's the
average
difference of
players
managers.
and made them world class.
But
You know what I
you
Look at
see,
mean?
Danny
like this
Rose.
is, and I agree with you. But I mean, like the thing is, you don't just get those managers. We had it in Pochettino, and then we fucking let him go because we're idiots. Because we got to a Champions League final on a shoestring budget and lost to arguably a better team on paper. Worst Champions League final I think I've ever watched. But
Yeah. It was terrible.
that's
Oh my God.
bro. Let's
Oh.
not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. I think the three
Oh.
week gap or month gap between us playing them and the end of the Premier League, one of the worst things they ever
Yeah.
did because both teams were actually in decent form to the end of that season. They should have just said, "Let's go final like now. Let's do it right now." But like at that point in time, Mauricio Pochettino had gotten so much from the players under. He was like a proper man manager, right? And I would say a decent tactician. Like sometimes he got it wrong, but he wasn't like a proper tactician like your Tuchel or your Conte. Do you know what I mean in terms of how he lined up with structure? But man manager, I think one of the best, and what he got from our youth players, incredible. That's why I
Yeah.
was devastated when he left because you even saw players coming through the ranks that were just getting opportunities. Do you know what I mean? Where he took them to another level. So I agree with you. I think you're 100% right. But Conte, I don't know if he's that manager. He's the type of manager where he will probably want to come in and sign players. So you have to play to your manager's strengths at the end of the day, right? Like you can't sign Conte who's won trophies domestically in different countries and then expect him to take your youth to another level if that's not what he does, is what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying,
that's
right?
that's that's the thing. I think it's the people at the top and their management and how they're managing the corporation is incorrect. Like, look, dude, and
But
I'll
it
say this
wins
again.
trophies. It's
It
different styles
not
that win
necessarily,
trophies.
dude. It does. Look, dude. The death of Barcelona. It was when they started buying these 100 million players. You know what I mean? That's when they got in themselves into a financial crisis. Prior to that, dude, they were getting the people from the youth system. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I
Hmm.
mean, I look at it. Dali Ali, when he first came into the scene under Maurizio, dude, you would like, I know, you know what? Quality.
Quality.
You know
I
what I
can't watch
mean?
him play anymore. He just infuriates me.
Yeah. And his
That's
attitude is
true.
almost like a French.
He looks he looks like he's a player that's lagging. Do you know what I mean? Like you're playing a video
Yeah.
game and he's just lagging. Like he's too slow. Like he seems lethargic when he runs. He infuriates me. Like nothing is done with urgency. Like getting the ball forward, getting the ball away from your feet. It takes like 10 minutes to knock a 1 minute pass. You know what I mean? I
It's
don't know
just,
what's happened to him.
no, I think
Must be
it's,
Pep's daughter.
maybe it's because after, it probably took a dip after Maurizio, you know. It's the exact same thing. I mean, a few years ago, when you guys still had like the likes of Adebayo and Defoe, and then when Harry Kane came into the scene, not many people rated Harry Kane when he first started. You know what I mean?
Bro.
I
Yeah.
think It's all about giving opportunity to the youth. That's how you produce world class players. Dortmund don't have the biggest budget out there, dude, but they manage somehow to produce world class players. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
something like I think Erling Haaland, teams should have snapped him up before he went to Dortmund because you could see the potential there.
yeah. I mean, this
Now
man
do these
scored
big
9
teams
goals,
come when the
bruh.
guys are asking for 160, 180 million?
Yeah,
You
yeah, because he
know,
scored
it's I think it's
nine
all about
goals,
having a
bro.
manager
Mm.
that's gonna develop players. I mean, the Ajax guy, he seems like he's the type to develop players. Even Graham Potter plays. I can watch Potter football. You know,
Yeah,
it's like same thing
100%.
as the Leeds guy. You
Bielsa.
know, I mean, with Leeds, he took Leeds from nowhere and made them into something. And I think the
Mm.
problem is with Levy, he should, how do I say it? He wants world class coaches on a shoestring budget,
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
know, and
that's why
you
Mourinho
departing
decided to
from
bounce.
the ways that had Tottenham being a successful team, which is getting somebody that's going to invest in the youth. You buy your small little players, they're not world classes yet, but they've got potential, and you coach them through that. Because these guys that come in, and I think they sell the narrative like, oh no, all our players are not good enough. You know what I mean? I'm telling you now, give Maurizio Pochettino this same team now. A few years back, you would have made something with it. I mean, there's potential there, Joe.
No,
yeah,
there is, and I think he would have got a lot more from some of the players than our previous managers have. There's no doubt in my
yeah,
mind. The likes of, like, you know what the sad thing is, like, we didn't get to see like Lo Celso and Dembele play under Pochettino. Like, I wonder if they would have
bro.
played better under him, right? Like, because it was in that season when
Yes.
we had just bought them. Like, the players still haven't even learned the league, and it was like a couple games into the season had a couple bad losses on the trot after losing to Liverpool, which probably fucked up a lot of those players in their heads because like it creates that losing mentality, right? So you know what I mean? Are you just the team that always loses in a final? Like it happened to us against Chelsea in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. I don't know which cup it was, but you know what I mean? You create this mindset of losing, and you just wonder to yourself, like, am I ever going to win shit with this team? Right? You can see it in a player like Kane. He's got that mindset. Like he doesn't know if he's going to win anything else. So I think that was like a big stepping stone for for us, and we just never. You know, if we'd won the Champions League, I feel like we'd be a completely different team now. No jokes. I think we would have kicked
Mm.
on and be like a different team under Pochettino. We would have signed players. But like my mom always says, if my gran had balls, she'd be my grandfather. So like, you know what I mean? If so, one thing, you know, you can talk about things that could have happened in the past, but it doesn't matter. Like where we're going
Yeah,
now, I don't know. I agree with you to a large extent. You want to invest in your youth. It's like teaching a man how to fish, right? If your youth coming good or good, like you can bank on not having to buy players and like having this auxiliary coming through where it just creates this element where you don't have this financial burden. Also, players coming in from the youth are paid pittance. Think about you starting at the same
yeah,
company and moving up in your salary. It doesn't necessarily grow exponentially always. It's like if you move
yeah.
here, then you go to this company, then you go to this company, your salary goes exponentially. So investing in the youth is one of the best things you can do. So I don't know. I don't know. It's going to take a lot to fix my club, bro. That's a whole lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Final question, guys. Oh, sorry.
Hmm.
But did you want to say something, Mike?
yeah. I was just gonna add, like, dude, Kante wasn't the man for you guys, and he'll probably be gone by before the end of this year.
You
Damn,
reckon?
Yeah,
that's a
he's gonna be
bold
gone.
statement.
No,
That's
in
a
a
good bet.
sense that let me explain it. Then Conte is the type of manager that needs money. When he doesn't get money, he's gonna start throwing his fits. Exact same thing happened at Chelsea before. Similarly happened at Inter. It's gonna happen at Tottenham. Watch, as soon as this January transfer window doesn't end with Tottenham signing at least two or three quality players, come Feb, he's gonna start throwing his fits.
Damn.
It's always so impossible to
I
sign
agree with
players
you.
in January. It's always so awkward. Do you know what I mean? Like players are still in contract. Players can't leave their team because then the other team has to find a replacement. It's always find January. So such a difficult
Bro.
transfer window, right?
It's like with Man United right now. There's a guy, Zakaria. He plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach, right? He's
Hmm.
available for 7 million euros. 7 million euros. Why
Yeah,
aren't we
won't pay
going
it.
in for him? Like
I know.
I don't understand. Like
Uh,
even
Bruh.
who's this guy? Our coach, our interim coach, identified him and was like, this guy suits the way this club is gonna play in the future.
See, I
Yet
just don't
still
understand.
we're
I don't
scratching
understand
our
the decision
balls.
making. For 7 million,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like that's nothing. It was
that's
like
that's not
us
even
with
a
that was
risk, bro. You're not even
no.
risking anything, dog.
That was like us with Grealish
Yeah.
when fucking Aston Villa wanted 30 and we were hell bent on paying 25. Then he gets sold to City for 100. I'm thinking to myself, Daniel Levy, like you really fucking messed up here, bro.
Yeah, he tried too hard to be cheap there, and it backfired on
Yeah,
him.
that
Badly, bro.
backfired big
Badly.
time. Yeah,
Like
it
that's why I
really
just don't
did.
understand. Why are we gonna haggle for 5 million? Like, are we really gonna haggle for 5 million? Yeah, or are you gonna get the player that is literally gonna change the game for your team, or like be a starting player and make your team better? Like, are you really gonna, you know, if it's 25 million, I say cool. Do you know what I'm saying? If the difference is 25 million, but if the difference is 5 million, like you say, X 5 million,
Yeah,
7 million, pay it, bro. If it's gonna make
bro.
your team better, pay it. Like, what are we
Dude, just
talking
pay
about
it.
here?
Because right now we are in need of structure in our midfield. Our midfield is we are like a donut, bro.
Disarray.
Like
Yeah,
our center, we have no center whatsoever, bro. And every time we
very
lose
bad.
the ball, we are under pressure all the time, bro. We whenever we lose up, especially with Fred and McTominay, because they so not competent on the ball. As soon as they lose it, oh my goodness.
He panicked.
Ah, we panic. That's how Liverpool destroyed us, bro. Liverpool are like, Henderson looked like prime Pirlo in that game, bro. Like his passing and everything. I mean, he was on fire, bro, because we just don't have a midfield. And Rob has told the board that our midfield is horrendous, but we still waiting, bro. It's the 24th of January, and we still haven't made one midfield signing. Which, yeah,
I don't
at
think you're gonna
times.
sign anybody. What's his
Same,
name
yeah.
is
I
back.
also don't.
Pogba.
Still, bro, like Pogba's leaving at the end of the season, bro. Like he's definitely
He's
not
going
gonna
to
stay,
Madrid.
bro. Somewhere, just not. He's not
Yeah,
gonna be at Man
PSG or
United.
Madrid.
Yeah, PSG or Madrid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, guys, thank you so much for availing yourselves. This was quite a long episode, but it was very dope. I enjoyed the discussions that we had. Very technical. Thank you for availing yourselves, gents. Do take care. Peace out.
Always,
Cheers,
friends.
gents.
Peace,
Take
gents.
care.